Hi guys. So today we are going to see about the sources of the constitution, which means our Indian constitution is made up of getting a reference from many countries, and with that reference our constitution is made. And today we are going to see in which country what are the references that we got to make our constitution. So the first thing is from Australia. The concept of concurrent list was we taken from Australia. Like in our constitution, we have 8 schedules. Now we have a 12 schedule. So at the time of constitution, it was 8 schedule. So out of 12 schedule, the seventh schedule is about the federal list, which means it has a three list. The one is union list, another one is state list, another one is concurrent list. For example, the particular matters are divided into any one of the list. For example, if a thing is inside in a union list, only the union government will have the power to implement any law on this matter. So if it's inside in a state list, only the state will have the power to implement any law on this matter. But if the same thing which was present in a concurrent list, so the union and the state both will have the access to implement law on this matter. But if both of them implement the law at the same time, then the law of union government will stay over. So this is called as the federalist. So this concept we taken from the Australia. The next one is the freedom of trade and commerce, and the next one is joint sitting of the two houses of the parliament, which dealt in the article 108, which means, so this concept also taken from Australia, which means, so if a bill is passed by Lok Sabha, it need to go to Rajya Sabha. So in our parliament we have both two houses. One is upper house, another one is lower house. So if a bill is passed in lower house, which is Lok Sabha, it will go to Rajya Sabha. If a bill is passed by Rajya Sabha, it is go to obviously Lok Sabha. If any of the bill is pending, like if some of the houses are not approving the bill, then the joint sitting happened by having the member of the both the house to pass the bill. After both of them accept the bill, it is go to the president cabinet. Then if he or she become if he or she accept that bill, then it becomes act. So for Lok Sabha, the head is the speaker, and for the Rajya Sabha, vice chairman. If a person becomes vice chairman, he will also become, if a person become vice president without any election or something, he will always be the Rajya Sabha head. He is always be the Rajya Sabha chairman. The speaker will head the joint sitting. So if in case this joint sitting was happening, for that joint sitting the head will be Lok Sabha speaker. This is all we got from the Australia. So the next one is Canada. So for Canada, the federation with strong center, the concept was taken from Canada, which means the central will have the most power. They will give to state, and state will give it to local government. Here, but the center is strong. See, so it is the point that connects every part of the India. So which federation, this concept of strong federation which was taken from Canada. The next one is vesting of residuary powers in the center. So if there are some powers are left over, that should be joined with the center. So for example, if one thing is not in the state and concurrent list, it will automatically go to the center. So as we seen before, there are three types of list. The one is union list, state list, concurrent list. For example, if a particular matter is not in the state list and in the concurrent list, it will automatically go to the union list. So this concept was taken from the Canada. Then the appointment of state governors by the centers. So for each state we have a state governors. Those state governors has been appointed by the president, which was dealt in our article 155, and the advisory jurisdiction for the Supreme Court based on the article 143, where the president can seek advice from the Supreme Court. This concept was taken from the Canada. The next one is Ireland. So the directive principles of state policy, which we seen in the part 4 of article 36 to article 51, which we seen was taken from the Ireland. The next one is the nomination of members to Rajya Sabha. So for Rajya Sabha we have 245 members, out of which 12 members are nominated by the president. So this was based on some of the category like art, literature, something. So this type of nomination concept was getting from the Ireland. The next one is the method of election of the president. So this election method was taken from the Ireland. So for example, the president was not directly elected, as we seen by voting a political party. So we have some elected members, right? They will put vote for the president member. For example, they are voted in a preference order, which is called as single proportional vote something. So where if four candidates have been participated in the election, so if I am going to vote for four of them, I need to write this president I am giving the first preference, so this president I am giving the second preference. Likewise, I need to give all the president list in a preference order. If a person who got the most number of first preference will get into the post of president. So this concept was taken from the Ireland. So the next one is United Kingdom. So the parliamentary government, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Then the rule of law, which is everyone is same in front of law. This concept and legislative procedure, like how a bill become act, it will go to LS, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, then it go to president. Likewise, then the single citizenship. So India only have a single citizenship. For example, if a person in India have a Indian citizenship, he should not have the citizenship of other countries. So in case if he want, he or she should cancel the citizenship in India, then he should got the required country citizenship. So USA has a dual citizenship. So this concept was taken from the United Kingdom. Then the cabinet system, which means having important people for the Ministry of Railways and some other things. For example, even though if we have a ministers, we have a particular Ministry of Railways, Defense, Water, Home Affairs. So this kind of cabinet system was taken from United Kingdom and writs. So even though if we feel some justice was not given properly, we have a writs to get the justice, which was divided into 5 types. One is habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto. Then the parliamentary privilege, like if a person in a parliament speaks wrong in the parliament, he has the power to take necessary action. So which some of the parliamentary privileges and bicameralism, these concepts are taken from United Kingdom. Next one is Japan. The procedure of established by law. So if there is a law, there should be some procedure. So we can't directly put any law into the burden of people. So it has some procedure. This procedure was taken from the Japan. The next one is Soviet Union. Now Russia. Before it was Soviet Union, USSR. The concept of fundamental duties and the ideals of justice. So 3 types of justice. One is social, economical, political, which was mentioned in the preamble. So these concepts are taken from the Soviet Union of Russia. So the fundamental duties are dealt in the Article 4A. So Article 51A, which was added in the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. Then the United States of America. So we got the most of the important system from the United States of America. So we got the concepts of fundamental rights, which were dealt in Part 3, Article 12 to 35, so which was adopted in 1971. The concept of fundamental rights and independence of judiciary, like each court have the rights to give their own decision. So not anyone so other persons or other higher authority should not interfere on this court decision. So this independence of judiciary concept and the judicial review, like whether the new implemented act will obey the laws written in the constitution. To check this judicial review, this concept was taken from the United States of America. Then the impeachment of president, which was dealt in Article 61, like if a president is appointed, how he should be removed. So this concept of impeachment was taken from the USA. And the removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, which was done by the president. This concept and the post of the vice president. So how a vice president post should happen. So this concept are taken from the USA, and also the preamble which we have in our constitution is also taken from the USA. The next one is Germany. So the suspension of fundamental rights during an emergency. For example, you have fundamental rights, but this fundamental rights should not be applicable on a particular period of time in an emergency. Though this concept was taken from the Germany. Then South Africa, we have the procedure for amendment in the constitution and the election of members of the Rajya Sabha. So constitution was written. So if we want to make any changes, we should have to implement it as a form of an amendment. So this concept was taken from the South Africa. And the members of the Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha will have members. So the members election is concept was taken from the South Africa. So next one is France. So the republic concept and the ideals of liberty, equality and fraternity in the preamble, which was taken from the France. So let's see about some of the key points of the previous year questions. So bag of borrowings we called as India taking a concept from the USA. So USA we have from USA we have taken some of the important concept which was in a constitution, so which is called as bag of borrowings. So the directive principles of state policy was divided into three types. The one is socialistic, another one is Gandhian, so another one is liberal intellectual. So the next one is the 5-year plan, so which was done by the Planning Commission, so which was started in 1950, 15th March. So what's their purpose means? So they have created a 5-year plan to achieve some of the targets. So this there are, as of now, totally 12 5 years plan was happened until 2017. So after 2017, the Planning Commission was replaced by Niti Aayog, which is a National Institution for Transforming India. So they are done the work done by the Planning Commission. So ombudsman means, which was taken from Sweden. So in big organization, if any big issues happens, so the person who is appointed to investigate the issue is called ombudsman. So for example, if in any government authority, so he was the superior authority, but if any something and any issues happened on that authority, a new person is appointed to investigate those matters related to it. So that person is called ombudsman. So which was taken from this Sweden. So the next one is judicial review of Supreme Court was dealt in the Article 31 and 136. Then the judicial review of High Court was dealt in the Article 226 to 227. The next one is the first past the post system of election within the Indian Constitution borrowed from the British. So mean a person got the higher vote will be the winner. So which we seen in our election, right? So these are the some of the key points of the previous year question paper. So these are all about the sources of the constitution. So thank you.